Yeah.
exporting those projects, I've like, as a music producer, you export a lot of, wave files, mp3 files, and all of those things. So when I got into exporting 3D, the fan in my PCU, I could hear it
PCU.
from here.
PCU.
CPU,
PCU.
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 The fan in
He
my
really dropped out.
This is Radio City Hip Hop 91, and I am Vijayalakshmi Narayanan. As you may already know, in case you don't know, you're still living under a rock. But I'm extremely ecstatic to be interviewing this crazy talented trio from Mumbai. We have Yash Raj, an emerging rapper from the city, and we have two ace producers, Karan Kanchan, of course. Who doesn't know Karan Kanchan right now? अगर आप करण कंचन को नहीं जानते तो प्लीज खामोश होके आपके कोने में बैठ जाइएगा. And we have and we have dropped out. Welcome, guys. First of all, this is such a wonderfully talented trio I have today, and I couldn't have asked for something better. This also happens to be one of the last interviews I might be taking in the capacity of Radio City. Um, so first of all, I just heard Rak. Rak, for those of you who haven't heard it, it's their latest single that they have dropped together, and it's one banger of a composition. So first of all, congratulations, guys, for all the love and accolades that are about to come your way for this. Um,
Thanks so
Firstly,
much.
it's Rak, I believe, is just the kind of an anthem that we needed right now, considering the situation that we are living in. I just wanted to ask just a quick backstory about the track. How did this germinate? Why was Rak the story you wanted to tell, especially you, Yashraj? How did the verses come about in place? What propelled you to write this song? And of course, Karan and Rishi can always come in with their inputs on how were they approached with, bringing the beats to the song. How did this whole process fall about in place?
So basically, like I usually go to Rishi's place, like Dropped Out's place, to make music with him. We have like he has a tiny home studio setup, so that's where I'm most of the times to just jam together, make music. So I think we had just completed recording one of our songs that we had released like in the past few months. It was called Part of Me. So we were extremely drained, and it was a very chill kind of vibe. So I remember this was around 3:34 in the morning where I told Rishi that I'm so done. I'm so done with making chill tracks, and I have this concept. And let's just put out something that has that aggression, that has that energy. And we started working on the scratch, like just like hardly a demo at 4 in the morning. I'm shouting in his house. I'm recording the scratch verses and everything. And by around 4:35, I think we were done recording. And the only person that came in our mind when we had like sort of a blueprint or a direction to go with was, of course, Karan, because this was his, like he could destroy shit like this. He could like completely obliterate productions and just add so much to it. So I think we didn't even sleep that entire morning, that entire night, and we sent the demo to him, and we were like, okay, now we can probably rest for a bit, because we were continuously working. And then we remember going to Karan's house and completing the tracks, just finishing up the concept even more, just getting the energy and the entire narrative right. So I think that was just how the idea just began. Like I think this idea began at 3:34 in the morning, just wanting to say something and wanting to change sort of like a box people had around us and around our sound. So that's how it started initially.
Yeah, Rishi, you want to add to that?
Yeah, so when like we were making the song, it was so like, it was so early in the morning, and the beat that, like we were making, like Yashraj and I, we were making, it was so like, so grungy, so like just, very like demonic, I want to call it, but I shouldn't. So it was just fun to make, and and we have been, Yashraj and I have been making music for the longest time,
Mhm.
and not in this specific zone.
Yeah.
Like we've been making music in like a very chill, melodic, more like, experimental zone that
Yeah.
we've been trying to do, and just try to do our thing, because we have a very similar taste in music, to be
Yeah.
honest. So we've been always making a lot of chill music, a lot of just, nice, feel good with good lyrics, where he can flow easily, where he has spaces to do whatever he can. And just 4 o'clock in the morning, we were going at it, and he was just screaming in the mic. I was like, "Bhai, aaram se, mummy papa so rahe." It was so, because you hear the track right now. It's all, it's like Yashraj screaming. It's just Yashraj saying whatever he wants to, but it's so, like, it's so different than the stuff that we have done. And just, it was so, like, we couldn't wait. Like, as we got done with the scratch vocals, I sent it to Karan in the morning. I was like, "Bhai, please just listen to this. Like,
Just listen to
hopefully,
it if you like. If you see some potential, like,
उसने कॉल भी किया था शायद तूने रात को मेरे को मैं सोया हूँ
थोड़े बेशर्मो जैसे हमने सुबह कॉल लगा दिया था, हेलो कोई जागा,
like 4 a.m. 4:30 I guess.
मतलब मुंबई में मुर्गे उठे नहीं, आप लोग एक दूसरे को डेमो और स्क्रैच भेजे जा रहे थे.
Yes.
Yeah, because Karan and I have been friends for the longest time, and like we've just been like, like we've never.
From the time he also used to make dubstep music.
I used to make dubstep back in the day, and like Karan has basically mentored me into the sound that I have right now, and like he helped me out the most in my whole career, and thank you so much to him. Finally, I got to make a track with him in which I got to do the stuff that we love, and what Karan does the best. So yeah,
like we've always.
I really like how Karan is feeling like as if, he's about to achieve the Lifetime Achievement Award, and Rishi is just standing by the aisle and saying, "Boss, you've been my mentor. I owe everything in my life to you." This is going somewhere over there.
Like that. No, because he's just saying that, but like we used to, like, whenever we used to sit down to make music, we used to like make stupid music. Basically, we used to like just spend the time
music
to make
that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, doesn't make sense. Yeah, it's just for like fun, just for like memes, basically. I have so many vocal recordings of him, and he has so many vocal recordings of mine, voice notes, which are like, if somebody hears, they'll question our authenticity.
They'll question the legitimacy of their greatness.
No. But as Rishi said, we've been like together, like I've known him for a long time, and we could never got a chance to work on some song. And Yashraj, I've already known like since he was putting out songs. I guess since he was putting out songs with Rishi is the same time when I came to know about Yashraj, and we have like a lot of mutual friends in music. It's a small scene, and everyone knows each other. And like Yashraj making such good music, you cannot miss it. So it was really going really good for him also. And I was also noticing we also actually discussed on working on a track before this also. We had jammed on that also, but that didn't happen there. But then this was I guess this is the reason why that went on a hold. This was the right sound which had to work out. So when Rishi sent me the demo, I heard it and I was like, yeah, this is a new zone. And I always like to like try out different styles whenever, like with each release which I put out. So this was also a very different zone than whatever I was also putting out. So I was like, Rishi had specifically asked me to make a drop because I was not thinking of making a drop for this song, but he specifically asked me to like make one. And
I wanted Karan to do what he does best, and like he's been known for internationally as well as like in this country for making J-trap and dubstep and all of these beautiful things. And I just wanted him to be his 100% with this track. And like, and what we sent him, it was like the perfect lineup for him to do just what he wants to. Enough free space for Karan to do his thing. We didn't clog it up much. We just did a small part and we sent it to him, and then we sat together.
Actually, we sat together and finished it together.
2 sessions, 3 sessions.
2 sessions.
The sofa you see behind him, that's where we were there most of the time. Like right there.
Yeah, actually, I was getting to that. If Karan could just give us give our viewers a small, little mini tour of the interesting studio space behind him, because it's looking so nice and lit.
I mean, I cannot move the camera.
I
But
think
I know,
the
you don't have
angle
to
is
move the
perfect.
camera.
I think we can see the entire studio.
Yeah, actually.
You can see the entire studio.
But this is the space. Like this was not always like this. This is the room I used to share with my grandmom and my sister. And recently, like I've turned it into a studio, and like not recently, 2 years, but like I've been building it step by step. And
Wow.
this is my space. This is where I sleep also. This opens up and I sleep here, wake up and I sit here. Nashta, lunch, dinner, everything happens here.
This
And
is
then
a
I go back
lion's
to
den.
sleep. Yeah. I only go out if like if I'm meeting someone from the music scene, or like if I'm going for a show, that's the only time I actually go out from this room. So yeah, my parents are also like really upset that I don't come out much often.
But that sounds pretty much like the mind space of a creative genius. Before we proceed further, Karan, I must applaud you and commend you for the wonderful 2020 that you've had. Of course, there was
Thank
Dum
you so much.
Pisach with Side Moth. There was Satya, which was such a banger with Divine, and then of course
Thank
you
you so
did
much.
Khamoshi with Ritviz. It's suddenly it's like it's Karan Kanchan all over the place. First of all, congratulations on behalf of all
Thank
of
you
us.
so much. Thank you so much.
I just
Thank you
want
so
to
much. Means
ask,
a lot.
the pleasure is all ours. I just want to ask Karan, um, you have collaborated with some of the biggest names now who are actually ruling the roost who have actually are the flag bearers of the independent music movement in a way. Um,
Mhm.
what do you learn from every artist? What is it about their artistic side that you learn as a collaborator? And what is it that you have discovered about these artists on a personal level also that many of us in the common realm are not aware of?
So like if I go to say, it's always like it's a really fun job, because I get to meet so many different personalities also. They are very different from each other, how they work. And it's you get to learn a lot about like actually when you're in the studio and when you meet these artists, it's more about how good as a person they are also, because that's what I guess not a lot of people are able to see, because you have like mostly the audience has an image of these artists through music videos and show
Yes,
performances, right? But when you're
absolutely.
one to one with these artists, that's when you come to know like these guys are so grounded, and like everyone, all these big artists which we think are really big and all, they are really like down to earth. And it's all about how they treat other people also. That's what makes a really good artist. Like talent and everything,
Absolutely.
anyone can learn and like get better at it. How much time you put into any talent, music or anything, you can get better at it by spending more time in it. But like being the re- being a really good person takes a lot. So these guys
So
are
well
actually
said.
genuinely really nice people, and like it's amazing to work around these artists also. And I think so one thing I notice about all the rapper, mostly like Divine and Nazi, every time I see them in the studio or anywhere, or even while touring or anything, they'll see any piece of paper or anything, they'll start reading. They're always reading something or the other. So I've noticed that thing. They won't leave anything. मतलब स्टूडियो में भी किसी और का भी कुछ पेपर मैनुअल भी पढ़ा रहेगा कोई भी, or magazine, so they'll start reading. They're always like, I think so, looking for words and stuff like that. And I think so with Ritviz also, he has his own zone. Like he likes to like be in the like zone, and like he comes up with melodies really fast. And everyone has a very different way of working, and it's like me as a producer, it's my job to like adjust to their like way of working and being able to deliver the best for them. So yeah, it's fun to like always work with new people also.
Yashraj, because Karan just mentioned about how Divine and Nazi and so many of these established rappers, you know, source their verses from even the smallest of things, like a pamphlet or a manual that's lying around. How does your process of songwriting fall in place? Like, I mean, do you even follow a set process, or you like it to just build it up organically?
I think it's a combination of both. I think you can't just wait for inspiration to come to you and then you write. I think there are times when you're in the studio with somebody like a Karan Kanchan, or or even with Dropped Out, there are days where you have to just come prepared. You have to come with a certain preparation in mind if you're actually going to work on the music. And I feel like it's a combination of both. You have to constantly keep upgrading, constantly keep on working on your craft, like make your art your craft, so that whenever if there's a timeline or a deadline to it, you can still deliver. So I feel like that's very, very important. So yeah, it's constantly just upgrading, reading, being well informed about everything around you, because in a genre like hip hop, where lyrics are of utmost importance,
Yeah.
um, and when you have such great like producers around you, it's like you're essentially competing with the beat. You're essentially keeping up with the instrumental, and you have to deliver a sense of concept, a sense of meaning. So I feel like that's one thing. And one thing I really like to like one tiny thing in my process is just be there with the instrumental for a bit. Even if you don't start writing immediately or start freestyling immediately, understand what the instrumental sounds like, what exactly are the beat pockets, and what exactly you can do with it in terms of flows and lyricism. So I feel like that's one thing that I just make sure, and I've been really grateful to be surrounded with like some of the best and most talented producers around me, is that they've truly taught me how to understand an instrumental, and I feel like that has always been of utmost importance. So yeah, that's a key part in the process.
Yashraj, because I just spoke to Karan about collaborations, let's look at your association with Dropped Out so far. You guys have done some of your most amazing work together, whether it was on Azad Hume, Ek Saath, Complicated, and Hausla. Some of the tracks, to just name a few. With each composition, of course, there's a different set of challenge. There's a different set of creative ideologies that have to be put in place. But and what happens? I once asked this to a very famous actor director duo who are constantly fond of working with each other. I remember asking them, it was possibly their sixth project together, and I asked them that how do you bring about the newness? Because often what happens is, when there is enough trust between two people who have collaborated often, a sense of comfort can come, a sense of familiarity, and sometimes it becomes too easy. It becomes just too easy to work together. But how you also ensure that there is a line where you can challenge yourself and push the envelope further as artists?
I think that, as you said, that since there's this thing where it's very easy to get comfortable, as you said. It's very easy to get comfortable, stick to one sound and just keep doing the same things and see it work and be like, okay, theek hai, chal raha hai, to it might be good. But I think the kind of people we are, I think Rishi is his biggest critique and I am my own biggest critique. So when two critiques meet each other, it's always a sense of, nahi tu better kar sakta hai, main bhi better kar sakta hu. Hum dono better kar sakte hain. And it's just that constant feeling of trying to push the boundaries rather than just stay within them. So and the best part is we're friends first,
Yeah,
so
like 99% of the time, like Yashraj and I were friends first, and then we started collaborating.
Yeah.
So we can tell each other if something sounds trash or bad or something. We can tell each other on our faces. Like we can't tell other people who we're working with, okay, this is sounding bad. We should do something else. We like tell each other, this is sounding bad. Stop doing this. So
I think there's this crazy Pharrell Williams interview, which I really love this line from there, where he says that whenever you work in the studio, leave the ego cap outside the door. Yeah.
Right.
Because that's so important, that you can't build a set image for somebody and get into the studio and then work accordingly. It has to be for the benefit of the song. It has to sound good at the end of the day. So I feel like that's one thing when there is like a relationship or when there is like a bond, so then that ego doesn't come into question. It's always about, does it sound good? Is it actually sonically that good or no? So I think that has never been an issue. But yeah, we're constantly trying. We try to make it like less repetitive, at least.
Trying our best, to be honest. Just trying to, like, that's why we did Rock, because we've been, as I said, we've been doing a lot of like Hausla and like Ek Saath and all of those things. We wanted to get into this very just different vibe. And hopefully we caught the essence of it and did something different and sounds different.
We got the stamp of approval as soon as Karan Kanchan came on the car. He was like, ek haath aa gaya upar ki tum tension mat lo. Ye ho gaya.
Bas.
So Karan, we and Yashraj are really good friends. That's why the song is good. If you want, it wouldn't be that great.
Yeah. True.
But Rishi, for those who do not know, there's a very interesting story, or rather, I don't know how you may want to put it across, but there's a sweet story behind why the moniker Dropped Out. Do you want to tell our viewers about it?
Yes. So I was studying and I was not that great at studies. So I do not explain this. It was like an exam time and like I just didn't want to study because like, I was doing the like BCom is the easiest course you can do, but I was just not really into it. Like I was just into making music most of my time. It was just going in making music and I didn't want to do anything else because I wasn't great at anything else. I could be myself. I could just make something and be happy with it. And like, I was just a lot into music. So I just woke up one day and I just told mom that I don't want to go to college anymore and I just want to make music. So that decision, like, took me really far in life and, like, just made me realize a lot of things about real life. Because when you drop out of college, you have to face real life, the real situations where people are like, not like people don't even consider you as like anything, because I've dropped out of college to do something I love. It's not really like, not a lot of people do that stuff. So people judge you, like my own friends, like they weren't that supportive and stuff. But after I worked a little, I like got my stuff together and like met, like Karan was always there with me before I dropped out of college, when I was there in college, after I dropped out. He just helped me, he just like let me do my own thing, told me what I was doing wrong, what I was doing right, and just I had the best people around me. So it was really like great. Just dropping out of college wasn't so bad for me. Like people like really take it seriously and stuff, and I've just been having fun with my music and making music, and I've been having the greatest time, and I've it's just fun. So dropping out of college is probably the best decision I took in life.
If any kids are watching, don't listen to this, please. Any parents watching,
yeah.
He's a bad influence.
It all actually boils down to how much dedication you have. Like if you have as much dedication as like Rishi, you can do that. But like you can also do it while getting graduated. I'm graduated.
Yeah, 100%. I would never
graduate. All the graduates.
I also graduated.
No, actually, this reminds me of that line. This reminds me of the line in Gully Boy where Ranveer Singh says, मोड़ जो देखा था उस पे मुड़ जाते हम तो न जाने कहाँ पहुंच पाते हम. And I think आप पहुंच गए, आपने मोड़ ले लिया और आप एक जगह पहुंच गए. And
oh, Rishi, Gully Boy.
Yeah. my top 3 rappers, Ranveer Singh.
I have to say Rishi, but I mean, just this is slightly off the record, but I think you're a Gujarati, right? And if you say BCom is the easiest thing to do, that has to be the most Guju thing also you said by far.
Yeah. 100%. Because anyone like I tell someone that I've dropped out of college, they're like, engineering se. I'm like, nee, BCom se. And they're like, bro, are you fine? Like,
oh God.
Why did you drop out of BCom? You could just do it. And I was like, no, you can't. Right now, BCom is, I don't know. It was really difficult for me to study.
Well, fine, we empathize to your story. It's extremely emotionally moving.
I get to work with Yashraj, so I'm probably really happy doing what I'm doing.
But I think if you have to revisit what Karan just said, like you can very much pursue your music by doing graduation. I think Rishi, weren't you interested in pursuing 3D art?
Yeah, I was doing a little bit of 3D art.
Why was that? How did you know expression?
Yeah, how did you?
ये कैसे पता चला आपको?
Not
Nardwar.
Yeah, this is like.
इसको बोलते हैं research.
Yeah,
100%.
So I love 3D art, and like I have a lot of really good friends who help me out in just pursuing that, because my sound before getting into hip hop or songs with vocals was a lot of spacey ambient stuff. So having like 3D art was like my main, like like it was my dream to have it, but my PC was so bad it couldn't handle it. So like I have a friend known as Witty Donut who used to help me out and like give me some 3D visual stuff. And like he helped me out, like I was doing 3D, but like my PC was burning. Like it was like it was so
Yashraj is right now behaving like that friend. He's like, I have heard this story 10 times before now.
I've seen the 3D art projects. I've seen what he's made. And I know how much struggle there is to just open the software. It's not even like doing something. Like वो खुलने में 20 मिनट लग गए हम बैठे हैं
wait. It was so bad. 3D software take, like when you open a 3D software, it's so simple. It's like it's barely anything. But when you make something, you're just waiting for 2 hours. That bhai project khul jaye yaar. मेरा मतलब कुछ नहीं हो रहा है इसमें.
Producer life also comes hand in hand. I mean, it's practically
exporting those projects. I've like as a music producer, you export a lot of WAV files, MP3 files, and all of those things. So when I got into exporting 3D, the fan in my PCU, I could hear it from here.
PCU. He really dropped out. Indeed.
Really dropped
Now
out.
he's
Yes.
dropped out.
Yeah, Karan bhai, when we exported our file for Raak, कितने GB का file था वो? I remember कितना
याद नहीं मेरे को।
1.5 or 1.6
1.7
Stems.
GB
Oh,
का
stems. Oh, stems. Okay,
Yeah,
मेरे को
yeah,
लगा
yeah.
MP3 की पूछ रहे
नहीं
थे।
नहीं
GB
नहीं
का file.
You know, the stem file, each individual audio
हाँ,
files
हाँ.
together for mixing when we give, it was around like 1 point something GB.
Yeah,
Because there are so many
1.7.
elements. It sounds
Yeah,
one, but
yeah,
like there's so
yeah.
many. Shout out to Hanish for making it sound
Killing
such
it, absolutely
good in
killing
the
it.
mix.
Anish.
Oh
So yeah.
God. But if I may
Yeah.
quickly ask you, you guys, Raak, of course, on the surface level, it looks like this really angry voice against, the whole suppression that we feel today as a generation. We know with our young voices being constantly gagged by this, relentless establishment. But if I may just ask each of you, what does Raak, what does the song mean for, the three of you? And what is it that you guys want to, individually say, if not collectively, but individually, what is it that you guys want to say through the song?
It was basically that song is like if you've kept something pent up for a really long time, and that feeling or that emotion of all of that coming out all at once and not holding back to a certain extent. That was the entire intention of the track. Even with the drop coming in, the track, like usually tracks go lower after a point, like there is a section that just goes, the energy comes back down. And I think in a track like this, it just elevated constantly till the outro. And I feel like that's one thing we had, that we're not going to hold back and at a single instance. We're going to talk what we're going to talk. We're going to produce, like they're going to produce to a level where we don't hold back to a single detail also. So when you hear it, as the lyrics change, as the certain emotions change and the topics change, the production around it also does. So I feel like that was one detail that was like we had in mind, and we just didn't want to hold back for anything. We wanted to go harder, and we were willing to put in like as much time or as many retakes as possible just to make it sound like it does. So yeah, that was one intention we all had, and that was one message we wanted to clearly give out.
Yeah, like as Yashraj said, like mostly the vocally, whatever, like lyrically, he makes more sense to the word Raak also. So I, as a producer, we also wanted to match that aggression, which is going on in the track with the vocals, right? The lyrics, and I think so. My approach was mainly, uh, mm, we basically wanted to make something which is not here in the, like in the, at least in the Desi hip hop scene. So it was like I don't think so there are much rap songs which have like a drop section in those songs, like mostly, but I'm pretty sure there might be, we're not aware of, but I haven't come across many. So me, I used to make trap music, like bass music, dubstep music way back, and I guess this was a good time for me to like get back into it and like put out a song, because it's been a while I've put that kind of a sound out, and that's kind of my aggression also. As he said, like it's been like piling up that I wanted to make a bass music song for a long time, but I was so busy with all these hip hop projects happening and pop project, every other thing happening. I was not able to do the main thing which I used to do, like which, because of which I got into hip hop also. So this was that moment for me to like go back to that sound and make a song in that direction.
And I'm so glad, continuing from where Karan left off, just having like Karan Kanchan on the project and making something that like both of us used to do back in
Yeah.
the day and just have fun with the project. Like I was there through the whole process where Yashraj was writing it right here in my studio, and he was telling me the emotions that he was writing from, and I had to take it from that direction where I knew I had to make it a little dark, a little, because all the vocals are really like, like getting out of suppression and stuff. So like it was really like fun to do something like that and send it to someone who can actually connect with us on like, a musical level, who knows how to take it further, who knows how to do more to this. Because if you hear the track, as Karan said, there are a lot of layers, there are a lot of intricate details. Like there are 2-3 beat switches in the track, which are very
There's
different
also a
from
dhol
each other.
tasha
Separate
sound.
drums.
Nobody successfully found yet.
Nobody knows.
Yeah, that's good. That's great. Yes, it was just a fun project to work on, which was like very different from what we do, and making it with Karan, just what we did back in the day, was just a lot of fun to actually sit down and do it again. Because we did it like long time back, and Yashraj has never seen us making that kind of music. he's only seen us making like a hip hop record, like or a normal record or an indie record. He's never seen like a drop being made, or like these switches, or like all of these kind of different
Switches I've seen, don't push it. Switches I've don't be like, oh, Yashraj hasn't seen switches. I'm kidding, man. Go stream DLL also after this track. Come on, let's go.
Don't stream DLL. This is about rock. Stream rock. Yeah, just this whole project has been really special to the three of us, because we got to do what we like. Not something commercial or not something that like other people are doing. You'll never hear a record like this in India, at least that we know of as currently.
As of now, but
as of now.
As of now.
Cocky claims by Drop Out.
Period.
Yeah, I'm standing my ground.
But I have to say, guys, I cannot wait for more wonderful collaborations coming our way from from this talented trio. Thank you so much for talking to me, and I only wish you guys all the best. And please keep giving us such wonderful music, because we clearly need a respite from these mindless recreations and remixes that are being drained into our eardrums every now and then. And all I can say is I'm all here for independent original music, and hope you guys just take forward this wonderful movement that has been started from quite some time now, and just keep giving us these wonderful earworms. All the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having us. Thank you so much for this track. Especially because a track like this, probably not a lot of radio channels might think of it as a radio track, but very, very honestly, like having support from this, that just means that there are people out there that probably resonate with this energy, and people who actually like independent music and they want artists like all of us to grow. So thank you so much for having us. That genuinely means a lot.
The pleasure is all mine. Thank you so much. I'm really glad you guys like this too. Thank you so much.
Radio City.